Hey, business owners, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We're going to really dig a little deeper into audience attraction. We're going to talk about what it takes to engage with your ideal customers at every stage of the buying process. So, I'm going to give you specific information that you need to have that you're creating for your ideal customers, no matter where they are in that buying process. So it's not enough to just have this one size fits all content. You need to have content that really meets people where they are. So I'm going to take you through this process really quickly. And then if you head over to makingitremotely.com/triggers, you're going to be able to get even more information on why people buy. Like, what is the motivation behind the purchases that we make as consumers? So this paired with the information in the triggers post is really going to help you to put together content that hits the nail on the head. It's going to really help you to resonate and connect with your ideal customers and convert more visitors into customers. So the first phase of the buying process has to do with awareness. So not only do your ideal customers need to be aware of your business, they also need to be aware of the fact that they have a problem, right? So if they're not aware that they have a problem, or if they choose to not address a problem, then they are not going to necessarily be motivated to interact with your business. So this is why you want to create content that is based on major pain points. So let me give you an example. So I am a homeowner and I have a leaky faucet in my kitchen. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing my cooking or, getting my meals together for the week. And I notice that there is a leak. And no matter how I adjust the knobs or whatever, I cannot get that leak to stop. I can't get it to quit dripping. So that's a problem that I can either choose to address because it's not a major issue at that point. It's just a drip. It's annoying. And I know that it's probably going to be costing me more more money rather on my water bill. But, it's not a big deal because it's really not that much water that's leaking. And so I can choose to ignore it, or I can be proactive and go ahead and try to get it fixed. But I have an option at this point, right? So time goes by, I don't address the issue. And one day I go into the kitchen, I turn on the faucet, and water is flying everywhere. Water is flying on me. It's all over my cabinets. It's all over the floor. And I can't get the water to turn off. So the only way I'm able to get the water to turn off is to turn the water off in the entire house. So that's how I can get that water to quit gushing into my ceiling and into the floor and everywhere else. But I don't want to keep the water off in my entire house. And so guess what? The problem has now become a major pain point, and I need a plumber as quickly as possible. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're a plumber who has been in my social media feed, if you have ads running on the social media platforms that I'm on, maybe you have an ad that runs on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I'm aware of your presence. I know what you do. I know who you are. You've created the know, like, and trust factor with me. I feel comfortable with you. I'm going to seek you out, right? Because I know a plumber. I know of a plumber. Let me get him or her on the phone, or let me head over to their website. I got their last text message. I'm just going to click on that last text message that I got from them, and I'm going to head over to their site and take advantage of their services. So this is where, if you do a good job of creating brand awareness and you have that paired with a lead generation strategy, then I'm going to already know who you are. I'm going to be comfortable with you, and I'm going to be more willing to seek you out, go to your website, and just call you up and have you come over without even looking at any other options, right? Because I am really comfortable and I'm sold on your solutions. That's what a brand awareness strategy will do for you. That's what a lead generation strategy will do for you. So when you have a brand awareness strategy, that just means that you are making people aware of who you are, what you do, and how you can help. And then when you have a lead generation strategy, you are taking those people that you're attracting and you're putting them into your email list. When they're in your email list, you can show them that you know what you're doing. You can send them educational information. You can send them discount codes and sales that might motivate them to buy from you. And so you have lots of opportunities if you have your lead generation strategy paired with a brand awareness strategy or a brand awareness campaign. So that is the first stage of the buying process. The customer, your ideal customers, become aware of a problem that they're having. So then if, say for instance, no one is top of mind, you know, there's no one out there who has created brand awareness for this particular customer, they're going to move on to the search phase. So during the search phase, they're going to do things like go out to Google, they're going to go out to YouTube or Vimeo or some video channel. They're going to go to Pinterest. They're going to go to, any place that they can go to, their go-to search engine, whether it's Bing, Yahoo, all of these different places are where people go to find information. And so at this point, they're going to be looking for a quick solution, right? And so the search will be on for solutions. Now, if someone has a minor problem, they may also come out and start doing their research. This is really kind of like the research phase. But if you got water gushing and you've had to cut your water system for your entire house off, that means you're going to be in a hurry. You're going to want a quick solution. You're going to want to find that solution as quickly as possible. So you may only go out to Google. That's the most popular search engine. Or you may even go out to YouTube to see if you can find a video on, what to do to get the water to quit gushing. Maybe you might want to do your DIY until you can get a plumber in there. So a lot of different ways that people can go, but they're going to be doing research. They're going to be doing their search. And so you want to be found during a search. And that's the reason why it's important for you to have a great SEO strategy, or you want to incorporate SEO into all of your content so that you can be found on Google, so that you can be found on Pinterest, so that you can be found on YouTube. And so those are the things that you're going to be able to do at this phase to help your ideal customers find you. Now, as a business owner, it may take forever for Google to rank your content. And you also have the option where Google may not ever rank your content. Because the internet is so crowded, Google is going to go for the cream of the crop. And if you're a new business owner, you haven't had an opportunity to really prove yourself yet. So the content that you're creating may or may not be indexed on Google. It may not rank, or it may take a long time for it to rank. So the way that you can get around that is by, number one, having that brand strategy that we just talked about in step one, or you can also put your content, around the web in the places where your ideal customers hang out. If they're looking for information, you want them to find you on social media platforms. You want them to find you on, places like maybe if you are a crafter, there's a specific place where crafters have their stuff. And you may be able to have instead of having it rank on Google, you may be able to have it rank on a platform like Etsy. And based on whatever niche you're in, you can also find those small marketplaces that will kind of narrow down the focus so that everybody isn't out there looking for, all kinds of stuff. You can really narrow it down to your particular niche. And that kind of helps you to be found, a little bit faster as well. But you want to make sure that you have your content wherever your ideal customers hang out online. And that will help you, even if Google doesn't rank you, you can still be found. The other thing that people do when they're starting out is they buy ads. And, that's kind of one of those things where if you have a budget for ads, you can definitely do that because that is going to help you to get found. And then if you have that lead generation strategy incorporated, then you can get people onto your list, which really helps to pay for, offset at least the cost of the ads. So your folks are going to be out there searching for solutions if there is no one who is top of mind. And so you want to make sure that you have educational content out there versus salesy content. No one wants to see salesy content. So you want to make sure that you have your educational, which means, doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be like all serious and complicated or rocket science. What that means is you just need to have something that educates your ideal customers about about the problems that your business solves. So, for example, I have this leaky faucet, water is gushing everywhere. Maybe you have a YouTube video that shows me, what I need to do to get that water so that it's not gushing all over the place. And then, giving me the option to give you a call. So that would be kind of like an educational piece of content, or an article that talks about, what step by step, this is how you take care of a leaky faucet, or something that kind of helps people understand how to get control of the situation, even if it's just temporary. So educational material, not salesy material, as well as lead generation. Those are going to be the keys to inform your visitors about your solutions. And when you have this educational content, it also positions you as an authority. An authority is just someone who knows what they're doing. So you're someone who has solutions for me, even if they're just temporary, and you seem like you know what you're doing. So that's going to help me to make a decision on whether I want to call you. The next phase is product comparison. So, this is what happens when people have more time. When you have an emergency, like the water is gushing out of the kitchen, you may not go through this product comparison phase, but during a normal buying process, most of us go through a comparison phase where we find maybe 2 or 3 options that we really like. And then we compare those options. Even if we just find one additional option, we don't necessarily go with the first option that we come across. We kind of find, another option to see what they're saying. And so this is the product comparison phase. This is where, if you haven't gotten your ideal customers' contact information before they've gotten to this phase, you definitely want to make sure that you have a lead generation form or an opt-in form or a sign-up form, whatever you want to call it. You want to make sure that you have that information available for your ideal customers during this particular part of the buying process. This is where the decision is actually going to be made. So when they do that product comparison, that means they want to see which one is the best, whether it's the best price, whether it's the best functionality, whether it looks the best, or the presentation. There are a lot of things that go into, what someone thinks is the best solution. So you want to make sure that you get your ideal customers' contact information so that you can follow up. You can let them know why you're the best option. The other thing that you can do at this phase is, if you have a blog or a website or a platform that you can use to compare, to do an actual side-by-side comparison, and you can keep people on your platform versus, having them to go out on the web and do additional searches, that can also help you to just keep people, keep that attention on your particular solution. And then at the end of that comparison, you can actually, ask people to make a purchase. So the next phase after that, after people have kind of done their comparison and they figure out, the one that they think is the best, that is where the buying decision is usually made. So then once someone makes a decision on the product that they want to buy, the thing that you want to do as a business owner is you want to make sure that your payment processing system is quick and easy. You don't want people, for example, if you have someone who is buying a digital product, digital products they don't require shipping, so there's no need to ask someone for their address unless you need it to process the payment. So if you need to ask for the address, most of the time the only thing you really need to process a payment is the zip code, the billing zip code. Or if, say for instance, someone is buying a digital product, you may not want to have them fill out the ship to address, but maybe they only need to fill out the billing address just so that you can get that credit card processed. But you only want to ask them for the information that is needed. You don't want to ask them to fill out this long drawn out thing in order to buy your product. You just want them to push that buy button and go through the checkout. And you also want to make sure that there are payment options that people are familiar with. So MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express, Google Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, Stripe. There may be some other ones out there that your particular customers are used to seeing, but you definitely want to make sure. And if you are serving a global audience, you also want to make sure that you have payment processors that will work for a global audience. So that is pretty much it. You want to just make sure that you're addressing people where they are. So to wrap everything up, you want to make sure that every piece of content that you create has a purpose and that it addresses at least one of the steps of the buying process, because you want to make sure that you're not just creating one size fits all content. That one size fits all content may not speak to the exact issues that your ideal customers are facing. You also want to have a brand strategy, and you want to turn visitors into leads as early as possible. So the ultimate is for you to have that brand strategy work for you. So, telling people who you are, what you do, how you can help them. And then once they land on your site, because you're telling people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, maybe on your social media platform. And then when people click and they land on your platform, on your site, then you can really elaborate on, how you actually help people, what your product is, how it addresses their issue. You can even do things like add in testimonials of customers who have bought from you in the past. Testimonials definitely sell. You can have a lead generation form on that page that tells people, how they can get more information. You might even think about having a lead magnet, something that they can get that will, kind of cement you as the solution that your ideal customers need. So it's not enough to just say, I'm the best, or, come see me if you have a problem with XYZ. You want to tell people why. Why do they need to come see you? What makes you any better than all the other people out there that are doing the same thing that you're doing? And so once you do this, then you are going to stand out from all the other people who are on the web, who are trying to, get your ideal customers to take action with them. And the last thing that I think I kind of neglected to mention earlier, and that is when someone buys from you. So let's just go back up to the buying decision. So when someone has made a buying decision, they've chosen you, and they click on that buy button, you also want to make sure that you follow up, that you are not just leaving people in the lurch. When they buy your product, there needs to be a follow-up system that answers their questions, helps them use the product and get results. So, you may have a product that comes with the instructions, but sometimes people need a little coaxing, or they need a little help. They need a place where they can ask questions. And then your question and answer section needs to be timely. So if someone asks a question today, they need to get an answer, at least an initial answer, right away. So you need to set up a customer service system, even if it's automated, even if you're only able to look at it maybe once a day or once every few hours. And then as your audience grows and you get more and more questions, then you may need to add staff, or you may need to have people that are manning that customer service area on a regular basis. There's nothing worse than buying a product and having a problem and not having anyone there to address it. So when I run into those kinds of companies, that just it's kind of like a flag that says, you know what, you might have got my money once, but you will never get it again. So you want to keep your customers coming back. You want repeat customers, not just one-time customers. And so that is one of the things that you also need to address in your content. That content needs to really stand out and give excellent customer service. So that is pretty much it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out. I also want to let you know about our free training hub. You can head over to makingitremotely.com/courses and check that out, get registered. And if you're a new business owner, that is going to be an excellent resource for you to, just get some free information that will help you put the pieces together to build a thriving online business. So I appreciate your time today, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day.